Gabriel McSharry, nutritionist and medical herbalist. A safe and effective approach to your health condition. Call the clinic on 071 9142 940.
There you go, Bob Marley there, and Three Little Birds. Now, in studio is Gabriel McSharry, medical herbalist and nutritionist. Good morning, Gabriel.
Good morning, Margaret.
Now, and of course, our listeners can send in the questions. 083 3500 530 is texting, and you can call us at 0818 365 500. This listener has blurred vision in one of their eyes. They had their eyes tested about 8 months ago, and they were fine. Should they have them tested again, do you think?
Yes. I get it checked out, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And would your eyes, after 8 months and you're told your eyesight's okay, could something happen? And I presume it can in that length of time.
Yeah, it can happen very acutely with the eyes if something gets into it, or anything can happen really. Things that could cause blurred vision are obviously something irritating at some foreign body in it that you don't know, dust or whatever, but also stress if you're doing exams. People's eye vision can blur under pressure at work, if they're working late or on a computer or whatever, but also doing exams, and that goes once you relax again. But it could be many things. It could be high blood pressure, and anything can come on in 8 months, so it is a long time. The fact is just in one eye as well,
Yeah, so
get it looked at.
Just get it checked. This listener says, can you ask Gabriel if there's anything for sore, cracked lips, please? I tried all creams for them, but not much good, thank you. No.
Yeah, chapped lips, especially if it's recurrent as well. I'd look at nutritional deficiencies here, and they may not be very obvious ones, but definitely a few the obvious ones. Any kind of ulceration or cracking around the mouth or the gums or anything like that, vitamin C is important. But in general, make sure you're hydrated, so I think at least 2-3 pints of water a day. Now you may have to work up to that if you're not used to drinking water, and there's a lot of people out there that are kind of hydrophobic, they don't like water.
Yeah, I have a friend and she keeps saying to me too, I hate drinking water, I can't drink it.
Yeah, so some people just put a bit of diluted or cordial or something just to drink it,
just can't drink water,
but
yeah.
I would push for trying pure water daily, even start with a small amount, because water is metabolized by the body differently if you put in cordial or some of these diluted stuff, or if you mix it with sugar or whatever. So I believe that we need water on its own, some amounts, and yeah, this thing where people are completely hate water, it's very common actually. So I try with, there's in the tap water in Ireland we have certain chemicals that aren't good, and maybe intuitively some people don't like drinking that, but start with a bottled water maybe, and just drink a half litre a day.
And yeah, if you sip it throughout the day, you wouldn't actually notice that you're drinking as much.
Whichever suits you, and even some people, what I get them to do is, in a pint of water, put a pinch of salt, unrefined sea salt, and see, does that improve things? For some it does.
All right, this listener has a buzzing in their ears. It feels like their ears are full of water all the time. What can I do about this? I'm sure that's extremely annoying.
Yeah, I can imagine. What I would do is actually just see, is there water in the ears and it's impacted by wax? And this is a common enough thing in surfers, and a big mistake is that if you're in the water and you come out and there's kind of stuck water in the ear, is to get a Q-tip or a cotton wool bud and shove it in there to get it out, because you're only going to make it worse. You push it down and you kind of push some wax in as well, and you could actually entrap some water in there, and it's covering the drum, and it'll sound like you're underwater all the time. And I've met surfers who've been like this for years, and actually go and get it checked out, and a doctor will, I think they call it syringing, but they'll get rid of the wax and it resolves. So the first step would be to see is there impacted wax, and do they need to be syringed out. If you have that done and there's still buzzing in the ear, it could be a condition called tinnitus or tinnitus.
And that's supposed to be really annoying, really.
Yeah, which is different altogether than anything to do with wax or whatever, and it's very difficult to treat, and can be resolved, but not always, and can affect sleep and everything, So first thing to do would be see is there any impacted wax.
So go to the GP and have that looked at.
Yeah, you may get it syringed out and see does that improve things.
Okay. My child is 6, is bedwetting and is having nightmares. Any ideas? We are strict on what he watches on TV, so therefore it's nothing he's watching on TV.
All right. Well, wheat allergy is a common thing in Ireland, especially in the northwest. Actually, the highest prevalence in the world is in Ireland, and the highest prevalence in Ireland is in the northwest of wheat sensitivity or wheat allergy.
Really?
So in this area of the world, we have the highest prevalence of allergy to wheat or wheat protein, gluten. So very common. And if you look at the symptom list of celiac or gluten sensitivity, it's massive, and one of them is bedwetting. So very common in kids now to have wheat allergy. So I try that. What you can do is, there's various tests, there's blood tests and so on. There's a lot of false negatives and false positives. So the best way to do is to omit it from the diet for 6 or 8 weeks and see does it improve. If you're still on the fence after that time, you're not too sure, maybe it improved a bit, maybe not, then load up on wheat breads and cereals for a day and wait 3 days and just see does the bedwetting start to regress.
Okay, but the child is having nightmares. Could that be causing him to bedwet? Or
yeah, definitely, yeah.
Okay, so could they look at maybe is the child being bullied, or is there something happening outside of that? If they're saying that,
yeah, there could definitely be that component, but I'm looking at more of an organic cause of it, where there's something
could be
going on
simply
in the body.
down to foods and that.
There's a reason for the kidneys or the bladder opening up in the middle of the night. Definitely, due to the nervous system.
And is it a natural thing though as well for children to bedwet?
To a certain age, yeah.
To a certain age.
I think it's after 6 or 8 or something that they really shouldn't after that,
Okay. Now, this listener asked, does Perea tea help to burn fats?
Yeah, look, I've looked at the research, and there's some to indicate that how you pronounce it is pu'er tea, and it's I think a region in China, Pu'er, and there is some I think laboratory studies to show that it does. When you look at the broader thing, tea in general, like pu'er tea, green tea, black tea, white tea, oolong tea, they're all from the same plant, Camellia sinensis, and it's by different ways of drying and fermentation that you get the different ones, and in different regions. So it's called pu'er after the region. But when you look at the research on green tea, it's quite amazing actually, and I've written a few articles on it, that it's very powerful for as an anti-diabetic. It does have a thermogenic effect, meaning that the metabolism speeds a little bit, and then it does have an effect on weight. When they do population studies on tea drinkers and non-tea drinkers, definitely tea drinkers would have a lower body mass index, and it's down to the antioxidants that are in there, and they're EGCG, so epi, gallo, catechin, galates. That's probably wrong, but it's these antioxidants have a very beneficial effect on the body, and there is research to say that to do promote weight loss. Pu'er in general has come on recently. I think maybe a year or two ago, Posh Spice came out and said she drinks it to keep her figure or whatever, and since then sales went up or whatever. But when I reviewed the research, it wasn't strong. I do think green tea is probably better if you were to weigh up the research.
Okay. This listener says that they suffer from a lot of cold sores and sore throat 6 or 7 times a year. Are they connected, or what could I do? Concerned Linda.
Connected, because the immune system is down and there's viral activity. So, recurrent cold sores, definitely your immune system is way down, and the virus keeps coming to the surface. Sore throats can be caused by viral activity as well, or bacterial. But what's important here is immune system's down, and there's a number of ways I go through this at the clinic. Definitely improved diet and nutrition. There's certain herbal medicines to stimulate immune function, and there's also certain antiviral herbs that we use that we mix together in one formula and design a medicine specific for the person. Certain ones specific for the throat area, or salvia officinalis, as a gargle, also glycyrrhiza. Ones that are good for cold sores are lemon balm or melissa, and a few other antivirals that you could use topically. But generally, the key for this person is to get the immune system up again.
Okay, this listener is very worried about her granddaughter. She has been a vegetarian since she was a baby. She's now 7 years of age. She doesn't seem to be putting on weight, as she is extremely skinny. Is it bad for such a young child to be vegetarian?
Yeah, very controversial area. I have my personal views on this, generally based on research. If you're going to be vegetarian, you have to be very, very careful and do it right. Vegans, I feel, go too far, and I feel they can do well for maybe 3 years, and then I see certain type of symptoms coming on a lot, and their health fails. There's certain things. Probably a good place to start would be get a blood test for the child and check B12, check iron. Again, there's certain amino acid assays and essential fatty acids. These are all things that generally vegetarians, if they do go deficient, they go deficient in. And these are all of vital importance, especially essential amino acids and essential fatty acids to a child and growth and brain development. So it is a very important time of life and of development, and it is extremely important that they're well nourished.
So
I'd say a nutritionist, that's what I do.
The best thing
get it evaluated, get her current diet evaluated to see is she getting enough of the essential nutrients.
Okay, and finally, is it safe to drink green tea when you're undergoing chemotherapy?
Yes, and the reason that's been asked is that because of the antioxidants, the ECGs, antioxidants are, I guess, good for the cells and they renew the cells and so on. And in chemotherapy, the opposite happens. We're trying to kill cells. We kill good cells, but we also kill cancer cells.
Yeah.
And there's this thing. Actually, I have 2 articles published on this on my website, westernherbalmedicine.com, and it was done by oncologists in the States who reviewed the literature on antioxidants and supplements to take during chemotherapy, because it's very common for an oncologist to give just a blanket recommendation, look, avoid everything else while you're on this. Yet when they look at it, there's actually certain supplements that enhance the effect and then reduce the kind of side effects that one gets from chemo. So definitely can be joined. I would keep going with green tea. Okay. I think it's a good quality one, though. All the research we do in green tea is done on loose leaf green tea, not these processed stuff that we get in the bag, which is only the flakes really and the dregs of the kind of tea industry, but good quality organic loose leaf green tea.
Okay, and very finally, this listener had a major surgery, told by surgeon to go on multivitamin, something with calcium. What would you recommend there on Calci Chew?
Yeah, so Calci Chew, here's my issues with Calci Chew, is that the amount of, it's calcium and vitamin D, it's a combination vitamin, and the amount of vitamin D is woefully inadequate, and needs to be, trebled or quadrupled. So you can take the Calci Chew, I take extra vitamin D on top. And for everything else, again, it's very important to get a lot of these things from diet and not just be relying on supplements.
So you're talking about your natural foods as well.
Definitely. That's where we have to start. We have to start with the foods, and then on top of that, as an adjunct, we get on the supplements.
Okay. Gabriel McSharry, medical herbalist and nutritionist, thanks for coming in this morning. Of course, you're back in 2 weeks' time. And to the listeners who sent in questions that we didn't just get a chance to get to, we'll put them on our list for Gabriel to start with when he's back in with us. Thanks, Gabriel.
Thanks, Margaret.
Gabriel McSharry, nutritionist and medical herbalist. A safe and effective approach to your health condition. Call the clinic on 071 9142 940.